What if one day the parliament decided it could change anything? Your rights, your courts, and even democracy itself. What if the constitution had no limits? Welcome to Justice Explained. I'm your host, and this is a space where law is no longer intimidating, confusing, or out of reach. Today's episode is about a man who never intended to become a constitutional legend. He didn't lead a movement, he didn't give any speeches, but rather he wore a saffron robe. This is a story of Kesavananda Bharati, a monk who stood between absolute power and the Indian constitution itself. Kesavananda Bharati was just 29 years old when life placed him at the center of history. He was the head priest of the Ednir Mutt, a small but respected religious institution in Kerala. The land owned by the Mutt wasn't wealth, it was rather survival. It funded rituals, education, and the daily functioning of the institution itself. Then came the Kerala Land Reforms Act. The state decided that it needed to take over a large portion of that land. For the government, it was policy. For Kesavananda Bharati, it was faith, autonomy, and survival. So he did something very unexpected. He knocked on the doors of the Supreme Court of India, not to challenge the parliament, not to rewrite history, but simply to protect his rights. But however, history had other plans. The case didn't arise in isolation. At that time, India was locked in a power struggle. On one side, there was a parliament eager to bring socialist reforms, redistribute land, and assert authority. While on the other hand, a Supreme Court insisting that the parliament cannot amend the fundamental rights as held in Golaknath was the state of Punjab. The parliament did not take that well, so it fought back, not with arguments, but rather with amendments. The 24th Amendment of the Constitution allowed the Parliament to amend the fundamental rights. The 25th Amendment weakened the right to property. The 29th Amendment, however, on the other hand, tried to shield and protect Kerala's land laws from judicial review. This wasn't lawmaking anymore. This was constitutional showdown. When Kesavananda Bharati's case reached the Supreme Court, the real question was no longer about land. It was whether the Parliament can change the Constitution in whatever manner it likes, or whether the Constitution has a core that even the Parliament cannot touch. To answer this, the court assembled a 13-judge bench, the largest in Indian history. Arguments went on for 68 days. Every single word mattered, because the answer would decide the future of Indian democracy. On 24th April 1973, the court delivered its verdict. There was no sweeping majority, no easy consensus. The decision was 7-6. Just simply one judge's difference. And yet, that one difference changed absolutely everything. The court said, yes, the Parliament can amend the Constitution, and also, yes, it can even amend the fundamental rights. But however, it cannot destroy the basic structure of the Constitution. The Constitution, the court said, has a soul, and that soul is untouchable. The ratio decidendi, the heart of the case, is that the Article 368 does not give the Parliament unlimited power. The Parliament cannot alter the basic structure of the Constitution. The court did not lock the Constitution in the past, it rather allowed growth, but, however, it drew a line. It said the change is allowed, but destruction is not. This single judgment stood firm during the emergency, several political pressure, and several attempts to weaken the judiciary. It thus became the Constitution's self-defense mechanism. Kesavananda Bharati never asked to be a symbol, but sometimes history chooses ordinary people to do extraordinary things. And sometimes a quiet petition becomes a constitutional revolution. In the next episode, we'll see how this doctrine was put to the ultimate test during the emergency. Until then, remember, this is Justice Explained, because justice must make sense to everyone.